This is Mongolian Mindset, and today we got a special one for you. After the assassination of Charlie Kirk, guys, we're going to be listening to an ex-sniper break down what he thinks. I got a couple clips from him, and then we'll be actually giving our 2 cents on everything, and then we'll be watching an interview of Charlie Kirk to find his personality type and break down his psyche. Okay, guys, you know we use Linda Bear's interaction styles and temperament. But I'm gonna go ahead and get into the clip here that we got. Um, uh,
This play out over the past few hours, trying to piece together what's happening. Like, I'm most interested in, is this a lucky shot or is this planned intentional? Most interested in, is this a lucky shot or is this planned intentional? That's kind of just what I'm interested in as a prior Marine Corps Scout sniper, Force Recon Marine. I'm interested in people who can see the shooter up here on the roof running. And that must be this building right here. Let's see if we can. The teenagers must have been right over here. Filming the video. They're on this large sidewalk, this wide walking area, and then we got the 3 steps right here. Let's see if it lines up. Yeah, that's got to be it. So there's somewhere, he's filming us somewhere on this path, and then you have these 3 stages. Somehow found a way to shoot from inside this building. Who knows if it was possible, but that would, maybe it wasn't possible. But exposing yourself on as a silhouette walking on a rooftop all in black is a crazy amount of risk to take as a professional. I would never do it. So those are things that tell me that this is like an amateur, right? Professional enough to do it, but not professional enough to get away with it. And that's my current.
all right, guys. So if you've seen it from the ex-sniper here, he's basically saying this guy could hit the shot, but he isn't squeaky clean like a professional like he would do, right? Because he was saying there that he would do it from the building. Essentially, if he took the shot from the building, it would quiet the noise, and give him a better chance of getting away. But we do know that he has gotten away and no one has caught him yet. So. Me personally, it takes a lot to be able to shoot and actually hit somebody, right? Just the breathing and all that is tough, right? And also you're killing another human, so that plays an element in it. And then also you packing up your rifle and you're getting out of there. Me personally, I think this guy um, was somewhere in the professional range, right? He wasn't like, very A tier fucking train, but he's pretty fucking good and he's killed before, is what I think. It's kind of sad that Charlie Kirk died because he has kids, he has family, and I don't think he.
His kids were in the and his wife and kids were there.
Well, yeah, that's even. Yeah, that's terrible. So
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think that it was a Democrat. That's my thing. I don't think it was a Democrat. I don't think it was a trans person. They caught some guy who admitted, said he did it. He was a trans guy, and then they found another guy who they thought had did it because he was saying like tomorrow there's gonna be something big that happens at the Charlie Kirk thing. So I just don't think they did it. I think it was somebody else. I think there's something deeper here. But I'm gonna let Zara give his take on it, and I'll say my piece.
Yeah, so Charlie Kirk was a obviously a conservative pundit and he was an activist and he was co-founded TP USA in 2012. He was also you know he was survived by his wife and two kids and just an unfortunate situation. Yeah, so it looks like he got shot in the coronary artery, and from the, as you could say, from the footage, and yeah, it's sad that we kind of live in a such a divisive climate, and um that that there's some people on social media that think him being shot is okay
Mm-hmm.
or justifying it, but yeah,
Yeah.
um,
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, me personally, man, I disagree with anybody who enjoys another person dying because when you die, you don't get to come back. Everything, the chapter, the book is absolutely closed. I don't think anyone deserves that, no matter
you
what
don't
their
have to
thing
like
is.
him.
Right. And I'm gonna play in the conspiracy land here, but this is just something I think. I think if you look at something, there's always somebody behind something, um, like a boss. Like there's always somebody running things behind scenes. And I think this is just playing a scene here. I think that they were trying to make a statement here. They're making a statement
Hmm.
here by taking this guy out and showing maybe Donald Trump, maybe somebody else that I can touch you, right? That I still run the show. I think sometimes people can, especially like Donald, sometimes he can get out of line, and I do think that there is somebody who's over the U.S. Right? They're over like all of these things. There's always somebody like that. If you watch, you know, animes, you watch movies, it's always somebody. And I'm telling you, they don't just get that just out of nowhere. It actually does like exist. And I think this person, regardless of his Democrat or Republican, they win. It's kind of like Palpatine and Star Wars, right? No matter if the Republic won, no matter if the Separatists won, he fucking won, right? He was running both of them. So I think maybe there was something there. I do think they're gonna probably find and scapegoat some random person, right? Um, they're gonna scapegoat some random person and feed them to the media, and then everybody's gonna think that that person did it. But like I will often say, people want to hear the truth, but they don't understand the truth actually takes a lot of time, and it's not usually the first thing you think. Like when somebody says it was a Democrat, it was a trans, bro. Are you serious? But that was that person's killed before, right? Um, there's just no way, bro. You're not gonna get out of there peachy clean with a rifle, make that shot, all of that together, right? Just being some random trans, okay? They could, I mean, I don't want to talk about like the trans community or anything or the LGBT, but like I don't really see them doing that. I'm sorry. They don't even believe in guns, right? They don't even believe in guns, first of all. So I'm not, I'm just not buying that, bro. They're so hard left, bro. They don't even believe in guns. So I'm not buying that. I think that's a very sub level fucking thinking on it being fucking Democrat or a trans person or whatever the fuck it is, bro. There's way more than that. But unfortunately, me, you, Zara, and everybody else is just a pawn in their games, and they will get rid of us whenever they need to, and they will flex on us. Uh, Anything you want to say, Zara, before we get into this?
Um, yeah, I mean, it's just I think like so many people are so apoplectic online, and it's just such a chaotic environment. And today, what's even worse is the fact that we can't that there's dispute on whether people should have any empathy towards him and being killed in front of his wife and kids, and events like, and I see this as a harbinger for what is to come in U.S. politics and the violence that is ensuing
Mhm.
due to the divisive landscape, and especially when you see the amount of redlining within the United States, redistricting and um, gerrymandering. Well, I meant not redlining, gerrymandering, especially when you look at what what precipitated from Texas now to California and other states are falling in line. The United States is quite divisive. The lands and we're losing empathy for people that have differing opinions, beliefs, and this is where the falling out begins, right? Because once people stop talking, um, that's when tensions really arise to the surface.
Hmm. Yeah.
And once there's lack of civil dialogue, this is what will happen in society as a whole. It just escalates from here.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'll just say one thing. Someone asked me, Mercer, what do I think is like the causing for all of the chaos that's coming? Because I promise you the chaos will get worse, all right?
Yes,
Those who prepare and perfect themselves, demigod, road to demigod, will be ready for the chaos. Those who don't will be crushed. But just saying, what do I think is the biggest cause of the chaos? I think it's social media, and the reason why I think it's social media is because no, it doesn't matter what your ideology is. You can find some group that will support your ideology, right? Back in the day, you couldn't really find that. But if you want to entrench yourself in a specific ideology, you can, and you will have all the support, and they will brainwash you. You will brainwash yourself, and I don't think that's a net positive um, for us as a society. I also think, with social media, everybody is so much to promote negativity. Negativity is what gets views. You do something crazy, you get views. So that makes everybody have to live up to this crazy stuff. That's why you have women sleeping with 1,000 fucking men in 24 hours. You think that shit's gonna end here? It's gonna fucking keep going, right? You're just gonna see even more crazy shit because clout chasing is how you get famous. And why is that? Because social media allows them to do that. So
exactly.
that's my thing. I think it's social media. That's the big problem here. Um, I don't know a lot about Charlie Kirk. He seems like from what I've seen from him, he seems like he's a very intelligent person. I do think he sets up his questions that suits his type, right? And maybe we'll explore that more through the video. But
Hmm.
I think he does set it up for for his self to win. And I do think when he makes arguments, they sound good for people that aren't really intelligent, but for somebody like myself, I'm like I would pick that apart. Like, bro, that's maybe a red herring there, or that maybe that's bandwagon fallacy, or that's something else there. Like I would just pick it apart. But for like people who aren't quick witted or can't think fast, they're usually gonna get killed, right? Or if you come with some like unpopulist, like stupid shit, like he's gonna kill you with that. Especially if you're not ready to move on 1 or 2 points. So yeah.
Hmm.
But yeah, let's get into it, guys. People at Personality Dummy Base think he is an ESTJ 1W2. That I think is a great pick for him. They got E and TJ behind there, okay? But I think that's a great pick for him if you were just gonna like ballpark like what you think. I think that kind of lines up with something here, but I'm not 100% committed to ESTJ here, ladies and gentlemen. But we will. Um, hey Zara, will you break down ESTJ for?
ESTJs are affiliative, they are structure based, they are concrete. They do um they're direct, they are initiating and outcome focused. They are also TEFI users and SINE users.
Yeah. So, guys, with that being said, like I'm trying to break it down easier for people because someone told me that we are a little too advanced over here, and that doesn't help the everyday person coming here. So when someone is saying direct, they really mean that everything they say is specific, concise, and to the point.
Hmm.
They're not losing open communication. That's more informing. They're using more closed communication, right? It's hard to misinterpret what they're saying. Like
Hmm.
they get in trouble for being too bossy or too
Kurt.
yeah. And then you got informative, which is more open communication, is more vague. It's kind of beat around the bush. Sometimes you got to play Blues Clues to figure out what they're saying. It's kind of noxious for me to deal with sometimes because like they may say something and you got to decode what they're saying sometimes, or they'll just give you way too much information, or and then you have initiating versus responding. So that's just basically do they initiate and change the subject? Extroverts will be okay with doing that while responding people generally tend to just sit back and react to what's coming to them. If you understand anything about the brain, the responding, the information has to go to the back of the brain, and then they respond. While initiating, the information can go more into the frontal lobes and stuff, and they can sit back a response quick. And then you got process, which is basically like this person enjoys the journey. They're not looking at the outcome. They know if they can prescribe the best process, they can get the outcome every time, right? And then you got the people who are looking at the end product, right? And they will try to control things to get to the end, to the outcome or the end product, right? They're not really focused on the journey. They believe the destination is the most important. Then you have affiliative versus pragmatic. Affiliative is about cooperation, interdependence, doing the right thing, about more about what's best for the collective, and then you have the pragmatic. So it's more utilitarian. They think the ends justify the means. They're more about their independence. They're willing to like do things, and then you have to check them. More autonomy driven, right? And then you have structure or systematic versus motive and interest. So structure and systematic just means that they prescribe in systems. Their brain thinks in systems behind things. Like, okay, what's the system behind this? Okay, how can I use the system? If I do this and this, I will get this result based off the system, right? They're trying to prescribe a system or use a system. And then you have people who look at motives. That's more of like, what does a person get out of something, or what is the psychology behind this person? Um, and that depends on, the type. And then you got concrete versus abstract, what is, and then the what if. Like, do they believe in everything is possible or on that type of lines? Or are they more like stuck in the concrete world of what is, right? Then we have TEFI and TIFE. I would just say the TIFE is the understanding, right? One understands others' emotions and feelings, and the other one understands logic, right? And then TEFI is judging and evaluating. Okay, you got your empirical data. What do this person value and appraise? What's important to them, that type of thing. And then you have SENI and SINE. One is more about self-referencing, SI, and then other one's like more about outside referencing. So they want to make sure that things are objective. Because of me, Zara, your Jimmy Joe, we all see it. That's SC, right?
Second person. Yeah.
While SI is more first person. It's like my subjective experience behind it. Then you got NI, it's like what do I foresee for myself? What will happen? What do I want? Right? And then you got NE, it's like what's possible, what could be, what is the connection between this and that, while NI is also synthesizing, like pulling everything down in one, right? It's pulling everything down into one. While NE is taking one thing and is expanding all the way out 10, 100, generating, brainstorming ideas. All right, guys. So I gave you guys a quick breakdown. You guys are killing me.
At a party
They're
every day.
it's all ingested before they even leave the house. So that's where the good news, parents, your kids aren't on pot.
Yeah, but they're on
way worse, I think.
they're on a big trip. So, but do you think that since we've legalized, less teenagers are doing, like 13, 14, 15-year-olds? Because that was always the argument, right? If we legalize it, less kids would do it.
I don't know what 14-year-olds are doing.
No, I don't know the answer.
That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
But we
I
can
really
agree
don't.
that kids should. That's how we can
Oh,
agree on it.
totally.
Yeah.
But we also should be able to agree that we shouldn't force adults to organize their lives around what kids might get into.
That's a good argument. I mean, do you think that it's...
I mean, you're not against porn, are you?
Well, I actually once struggled with porn. Thankfully, I'm free of that. But I mean...
How can you struggle with it?
I mean,
It's so easy.
Well, you could grow addicted to it. I mean, it can...
I know, I was kidding.
No, but no, I mean, yeah, I don't have that issue anymore, thankfully. But I would ask the question, though, like, do you think since the legalization of marijuana in LA, it's made it a better or worse place to live? Or just it hasn't changed at all?
It certainly hasn't changed my life.
Okay.
I grow it right outside here.
Do you think this? Do you think the quality of life has gone up or down?
All right, he keeps going on. Do you think this? Do you think this? Do you think this? Is he interviewing Bill here? Um, is he interviewing?
No, it's Bill Maher's show.
Yeah, I was thinking that. I'm
He's
like,
trying to set him up.
yeah,
This is the way he does. He's trying to frame the argument. He's controlling the pace.
yeah. So I would say that like
That's
he's
pretty
asked,
direct. He's directing the conversation.
yeah, he's directing the conversation and he's TIFE because he keeps asking Bill Meyer what I think. And if you see Bill Meyer, he's like, oh, I don't know, like he bantering. I think Bill Meyer is probably an ENTP. But yeah.
Well, I don't know, but that's not really the relevant question, is it? Even if there is a deleterious effect, there is too many things we do, and we would not use that as a reason to prescribe our basic freedoms.
Should people,
I mean,
be able to do drugs
should people?
outside, like on the street, or?
No, definitely not on the street.
Okay, so
I mean,
so there are some limits.
of course,
yeah,
there
okay,
are limits,
yeah.
yes, and maybe of certain drugs, or certain drugs should be by prescription, as we do with pharmaceutical drugs, but certainly pot is more benign than alcohol. I mean, I could give you the stats on that. We all know that. Is it health food? No, I'm not crazy like some of my hippie friends are, trying to portray it as something that's actually good for your lungs. But I don't think it's a trade-off. When you're an adult, you have the right to make trade-offs.
You see that like mid sentence, like he just changed what he was gonna say there. I don't think in it. Bam, any wow.
Trade-offs
Hmm.
is the essence of life. I'm going to have this piece of cake tonight and be a little fatter tomorrow, or I'm not going to do that and feel better tomorrow. And we all make those
Bi
choices on a
Bill.
daily basis with everything.
That's any we make all those choices. Any
Yeah.
choices, options.
Yes, have I probably cut off some years of my life, maybe with pot? Who knows? I may have increased them because it helped me. Certainly made me richer. It made me better at my job, better at writing, better at a lot of things I like to do. So, I might be living in a two-bedroom apartment in Van Nuys if it wasn't for pot, and I'm probably going to live longer here.
Or who knows how successful you could have been without it?
That's true too. That is true too.
Do you think there's any merit to the argument that the pot has more THC and is more intense than it was 30, 40 years ago?
It's so hard.
I don't know. I hear
Okay.
these things and
Oh, I hear those things too, and I'm sure that's true because once it became as commercialized as it has, of course you're going to try to maximize the potency of it. Just because the customer comes back, just like a restaurant is not interested in your health, they're interested in making the food
selling
as
more product.
delicious as they can,
And
so you
addictive, yeah.
come back to that restaurant. So, but it's so hard for me to tell you because I've been smoking for 50 years, and I'm different. Who knows what I was thinking? I mean, I remember when I first smoked, we would just sit in the car and laugh at nothing for an hour. That doesn't happen anymore. So my guess is the pot is stronger, but my resistance is weaker.
Okay.
Anyway, it's, people think I'm some sort of giant pothead. I've always been very circumspect about my pot smoking. I mean, I don't smoke every day. The most I smoke is right here, once a week. I like to be in party mode when I'm with someone I'm getting to know. This is one of the joys of my life. And, I understand that it doesn't connect with some people or make some people
FE,
paranoid or something, but
FE it doesn't connect with some people.
other people, it's
Hmm.
just, I mean, some people like a scotch and some people like blah, 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 and some people like
Hearing you
complete
talking about it.
sobriety. If that's your thing, that's fine. But to me, the most interesting place I can ever travel is inside my own mind. And drugs do help you get.
The most interesting place I can ever travel is inside my own mind. That's any
Hmm.
dom there, baby. Any dom.
There.
Do you think all hard drugs should be illegal? Like heroin?
Illegal? No. I mean, well, heroin, is there any uses for it? I mean,
Like for what San Francisco did, they pseudo legalized it, right? I mean, they said, hey, we're going to make it easier for you to do heroin.
no, we shouldn't make it easier. That's crazy.
where they had drug injection sites, basically,
Yeah,
right?
that's so sad.
No, I know, but that was a
I
public
know.
policy position
that-
of Seattle, Portland, and San Francisco.
That's the low-lying
All right, so he's talking about the infrastructure there that's systematic.
fruit
Mhm.
for you right wing.
No, that's
for you right
it's a
wingers.
question.
No, but isn't it?
I want to
It's
create.
the low-lying fruit. It's like no.
Sure, it's a
Right,
it's a boundary. I want to create a boundary.
And you're
right.
right. You know, I mean, again, I'm for picking that fruit too. It's silly to help drug addicts be drug addicts and keep them on the street. It's stupid to keep homeless on the street.
Oh, I totally agree.
There's another way. Liberals are different than the woke. The liberal thing forever was, for compassion's sake, get them off the street. That's not the woke version. Their version is, they're an endangered species. Don't touch them in their natural habitat, living under a bridge.
Let them defecate. Let them do whatever they want.
It's their thing. And, you know, I mean, there should be nothing more basic than a government claiming the streets. The streets are for the citizens. Then it's not to live in. Build a barracks. I mean, why are these things, maybe you can answer, why are these kind of things so difficult? You think, such common sense. Build a fucking barracks. I know homeless people say they don't want to live there. You don't have a choice. Oh, we'll
Common sense, T.I.
get robbed there. Hire security. It's pennies on the dollar. Why is it so difficult? I feel like I, with no real knowledge of this field, could do it. Could just, if I had people who would carry out I would say, okay, get me specs. I want to see where a place we could build it. I want to see what the barracks looks like. I want to see who works there. Is it really in the toilets, whatever? And somebody must be Mitt Romney, somebody who did the Olympics, somebody who could come in and
we know how to clean up the streets. I mean, Gavin Newsom cleaned up the streets of San Francisco when Xi Jinping showed up. I mean, it's just an act of the will. They don't want to do it.
Right, like when they get the whores off the street, when the mayor is like doing one of those cleanup.
Or like when the MLB All-Star game goes to Seattle, all of a sudden it's America's cleanest city.
Right. So you're saying if we can do it that one day.
Well, I'm saying it's an act of the will. It's all that it is. And look, woke, I won't even say left, woke philosophy is they don't really believe in private property. And at its core, why shouldn't someone be able to defecate on the side of the street? Who are you to judge?
Well, that's not woke.
I'm hearing
yes,
some
maybe.
NI.
I'm saying woke, not even liberal.
Right.
I'm making that distinction,
Right,
which I think is
good.
a fair distinction.
That's another reason. Another one we can add to the list of woke is not liberal.
I think left versus liberal or woke versus liberal is an important distinction.
Right.
I will say what makes you different is few liberals stand up to the woke.
And
few liberals are willing to stand up to woke.
Absolutely. And few conservatives stand up to Trump.
Fair enough. I mean, you can stand up or disagree, but I guess you could say the question, is Trump, woke is an ideology. Is Trump an ideology? I mean, he's a person. MAGA is an ideology. But I mean, I disagree with Trump on a lot of stuff.
Good.
I mean, I don't think we should go to war with Iran. I think that'd be a big mistake.
Also, when you get to, we're going to send homegrown American citizens to foreign prisons.
Oh, so the thing he said, you mean?
Homegrown.
To Bukele.
Americans.
No, and if he were to do that, I wouldn't support it.
Great.
But I think that is a one-liner that he gave to Bukele. I think that is, you met the man.
Yes.
Do you think he actually believes that? Like he would do that?
It's worse.
He just harps on, do you think?
If he does or would, it's still horrible that an American president would say that. Look me in the eye and tell me if Obama had said that, what your reaction would be.
Wouldn't like it.
Wouldn't like it. I think it would be a little more vitriolic than that.
We'd be
apoplectic.
Upset.
Okay. I'm finding out how honest you are, Charlie, and
right,
so far I think you're doing good, and I hope I'm doing good with you. Because if we don't have the honesty, we can't really.
I think fucking ISTJ is like candy in front of an ENTP. It's just candy. It's just candy. He could just move him around however he wants to. He just ain't got the NE and he's got the TI and ENTPs are quick on their feet. He can just move around however he want to, man.
You know.
Look, but to be fair to the whole, topic in general, the outrage around deportations, as we've seen, these last couple of weeks, is like the American people voted for it. It's perfectly legal.
Well, they didn't vote for.
They did vote for mass deportations.
People without any. I mean,
so you mean that Maryland case is what you're talking about, right?
The guy the
MS-13 member.
Well, there's no evidence that They did not present evidence. I mean, I don't really want to get into the weeds on this one because I got to do it on my show Friday. But the Supreme Court, I guess we have to get into the weeds.
There's even new evidence in the last couple of hours that I don't. You lead the conversation. You tell me how deep you want to go on it.
None.
Okay.
I mean, but I hope that if it comes to light, let me button it up this way. I hope that if it does come to light, that there really is no evidence that this guy was a gang member, that he got swept up, which is very understandable. That when you do a sweep, when you're doing big things, yes, nothing is going to go perfect. But if it does come to light, I would hope that some Republicans have the spine to say, yeah, that's not right. This guy should not be there. I mean, the Bill of Rights, it's pretty clear that you can't just disappear people without any sort of trial.
Well, but sorry to interrupt.
And deportation is not the same thing as sending someone to a prison.
But you are allowed to deport under the Alien Enemies Act.
Correct.
Someone who is part of a recognized terrorist organization, which MS-13 is pretty close to a terrorist organization.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, you're bending all these words.
And he's not an American citizen. We got to acknowledge that.
No, absolutely not.
So that's important.
But he wasn't here illegally either.
No, he was.
Illegally.
Yeah, the Maryland man. As long as we're not talking about two different cases.
That was important, FI.
We're talking about Garcia.
Yes, he was an illegal immigrant to the country.
I thought he was waiting for asylum.
I mean, Bill is killing us here, but I mean, I think it's pretty self-explanatory that this guy's direct. Okay.
DEFI.
So
he's just asking him, like, do you think this? Do you think
that? Do you think this? Do you think that? And whenever he talks, he's talking about the procedures, the protocol,
he's systematic,
the methods,
Yeah.
So that's
and systematic.
He ain't talking about like the psychology behind it, what people get out of it, what's the interest, right? So we're gonna go ahead and eliminate direct and systematic, guys. And
TEFI.
and TEFI. So with that being said, that eliminates these guys, right? Because they're not systematic, and these guys are not systematic, okay? And then with TFI, they're going ahead and kill ENTP, who is currently battling with an ENTP, kills ISFJ, and also kills INTP, guys, and ESFJ. So we're down to ESTJ, ISTJ, ENTJ, and INTJ. And this guy is clearly not ENTJ. I mean, some of these things you could just eliminate down to trying to help yourself. Like, clearly he's not. Even though we don't even know the metrics, we know he's not ENTJ, okay? You be having so much SE and he be fucking initiating all over this guy like a motherfucker.
You could be illegal waiting for asylum.
I see. So so they could deport him. That's right.
Yes.
But we never did it, but to a prison.
It's an edge case. I acknowledge it's on the edge.
Okay, good.
No, but the edge is, so there's three ways you can deport people. It could be the Alien Enemies Act of 1798. It can be
used only 3 times.
That's fine, but hey, look, and you quote the First Amendment all the time. That's from 1787, right? So old things are important.
Old things
FI.
are important.
That's SI.
That's SI.
SIFI. Oh,
yeah. Give me a second here. Yeah.
Old things are important.
Old things are important, ladies and gentlemen. That is textbook SI there. Okay.
Yeah.
Saying just because
that's been used. That's been used more than 3 times.
Fair enough, but just because things are old doesn't mean. And I'm not saying you're using that talking point, but some people are trying to invalidate it just because it's old. Well, it's also expedited release.
They're trying to invalidate it because it doesn't really apply to this. That it's stretching.
I mean, how is MS-13 not a terrorist organization?
Yeah. I mean. Yeah, you can make that.
Or Tren de Aragua. I mean, organized
because terrorism really is a political movement. It means terrorizing the civilian population to achieve a political goal. These guys just want to grab your locket.
All right, so he just broke it down with TI form, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, this is
It's a little more than that, though.
oh, yeah, a lot more than that. Look, I've said that all this stuff I don't like
I
about
mean, I think basically what he's saying here is that the way that it's so loose, you can make any bad person on the street a terrorist.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's got to be more defined here. It's got to be clear. If not, then you can loop anybody into that and call it a terrorist.
Trump.
Yeah.
I did it in my piece the other week when I was talking about the meeting at the White House. That no, he was tweeting about me. I've never liked anything. No, check the tape. There are things I like, and one thing I liked was that the police have their morale back maybe now. And you know, when you live in a city, it's not a good thing when the police lose their morale because they feel like they've been painted with a broad brush, which they were after 2020, you know, and they're like, okay, you know, and I've been very critical of the cops when I think they did bad things, but do I think that it's a racist, you know, attack squad? It's not. There's issues. There's always issues in everything.
In big organizations.
And, you know, when you insult the cops, they have a way of kind of brooding about it. And it's just not a good place to be when you're a city dweller. And so, you know, I don't want to be killed by a gang member because they do random killings, you know, just as gang initiation so they can get the fucking teardrop under their eye. Mm-hmm. Okay, I don't want to be someone's teardrop tattoo, you know, rando out to dinner. So I get it. You know, I mean, these are the things that lost the Democrats the election.
100%.
You know, you got to take care of this shit. I was just
and there's real Americans that die. I mean, Rachel Morin, Laken Riley. There's real. I mean, Jocelyn.
Well, probably
dropping.
not at greater rates than are killed by regular Americans.
That's how he shitted on that TE. He just shitted on that TE. TI there. He just shitted on it.
Debated, but let's just put that aside. They shouldn't be here. And so none of those murders should have happened, right? And so, anyway, back to the core question. Does the president have the ability to remove illegals that have come here under an enemy gang? Of course he does. Yeah, he has the power given to him by that law.
Hey, do you want a little more random in your life? Go to your online compelling audio campaigns, which work. Who can relate? I have one question for you. Have you tried ZipRecruiter? Now, the other one's not so much. That's correct, buddy. That's
Secondly,
good.
So if you just isolate the Islamic part.
But it was funny.
Secondly,
Jesus.
To your credit, you treated woke like a religion.
Yes.
And you criticized them with the same intensity and ferocity you did, and you deserve a lot of credit for that.
Thank you.
I mean that because you looked at it as this has a catechism.
You know, ENTPs try to be fair. They try to be fair with their criticism. They try. Unless they got some SI attached to it. And if that SI is attached to it, boy, they ain't gonna be ejected for shit.
It has religious type undercurrents. It has almost a metaphysical presence to itself, and so you're an equal opportunity critic.
I mean, yeah. And it's funny because the director of Religulous, Larry Charles, and I had dinner about a year ago, and I suggested, and of course it went nowhere because we're both too old to like really act on it. But I said, people keep asking me, and I'm sure him also, to do Religulous too. But when they say it, they think now we're going to go to India and make fun of the Hindus. I'm like, I'm not doing that. Okay, I'm not going to India, and the Hindus aren't that funny. Okay, we did it. The movie did great, and we love that it stands the test of time, and people always keep coming up to me and seeing it. Movies are amazing that way. But I said, somebody gave me a great idea. Why don't we do Religulous too? But the religion is wokeness. And then that's what I was suggested. And I said, yeah, but then you're going to have to do the right side of it too, because that's also a religion. Christian nationalism. I mean, come on, your boys, some of the people I think you're fond of, they mix religion and politics in a way that I think is not according to the Constitution. But I have to tell you, I'll give you a lot of credit. I saw a video of yours where you were talking about how Christy the original documents were, which is, you know, I mean, my view is that the founding fathers, we know a number of them were deists. Mostly that was their religion. But you did, and boy, you have your facts down. I mean, you can spiel when you get on a subject
I
like
got the
this.
shtick down.
You really do. And I trust you. You know, I'm going by what you, but you know, that they were a little Christier than I thought, you know, and I'm always happy to learn new information. And if it doesn't satisfy people that I don't stay exactly where I am, it satisfies the people who are actually my fans, who always want me to do that, to be like, oh, if I take in new information. I mean, that's why, you know, the far left hates me because I went to the White House and said, well, privately, Trump's different.
And
I
good,
didn't,
and good for you for saying
yeah,
that.
and I didn't give an inch on anything I believe. I confronted him on things that I think, you know, he probably maybe never hears from anybody else, but that's not good enough for them because, you know, they had to. But no, if you take in new information, just tell me. And so I do think after listening to your spiel that, yes, they were a little more
God damn, it's like,
into Jesus.
well, it's like we typing him, bro. It's like Jesus Christ, bro. I'm gonna go ahead and add Bill Mayer to the fucking list. I mean, my God, bro. Like he's getting added to the list today. He's ENTP.
Than I
Yes.
thought. I mean, I know Jefferson wrote that Bible and
Oh, he heavily edited it.
took all the miracles out. He took all the religiosity out of it and just made him
A moral teacher.
a moral philosopher.
Mm-hmm.
Now you have to admit that's not exactly the act of a Christy person.
No, but at least he acknowledged that there was something profound there. Got to give him credit for that.
I could even acknowledge that.
Okay, that's good. No, I'm glad to hear you say
Well,
that.
Jesus as a philosopher was a true revolutionary. I mean, when he said the meek shall inherit the earth, I think the response was,
Blessed are the peacemakers. Right.
yeah. But the idea that it gets good in the next life was fairly, I think, revolutionary. And the fact that, you know, if you're a good person in this life, there's a much greater, this is just the pregame. You want the after party.
Don't you
And the
think?
after party is just going to be fucking awesome. You're up there with me and my dad, God, and it's just, you know.
What do you think would create a better society or better action? People that think that there is an afterlife based on how you act, or people that think there isn't one?
That's a great question because it
think both
certainly
people
can
think
turn people either way. It can make you fly planes into a building. I'm not speaking of any specific example.
I can't think of
I
anything.
can't either. But it can make you do that. You'll admit that.
Sure. It
Okay.
could also make you do
Cool.
like blow up Oklahoma City too.
Yes. And it can also,
fully acknowledge.
and I fully acknowledge that it also keeps millions of people in line. Like Mark Wahlberg. I'm guessing without Catholicism, he just looks like a guy who'd be in a lot more trouble. But I think it just has made his life, you know, much more under control. So there's one. Mark Wahlberg, I think, really benefits from Catholicism. But I think there's lots of people like that. They just, like, they truly are worried that if they, okay. Yes, I do. But I mean, it's very hard to find that justice on earth. Ask an AIDS baby.
Oh, don't, Bill. That's why when you say, "Hey, I'm happy here," there's a lot of suffering on earth too, and that's the
It is.
that's the Christian argument,
and
right?
some of it is you know, we obviously can see it comes from no bad deed done.
All right,
Child.
Charlie Kirk, man, you're responding. I'm not even gonna drag it out. You're responding. You're nice, TJ. It's just you're nice, TJ. He's a fellow, ladies and gentlemen. That's why he's talking about Christian. That's why he's talking about the past. He's SI, NE. He's excited about the past. Don't you disrespect the past. Don't you disrespect tradition. Don't you disrespect, you know, Thomas Jefferson and all this other shit. You know, I mean, he didn't say that, but I'm just saying that's how they are. They use the past, and the thing about this guys is they can be very intelligent by reading all of the facts from the past and using that with TE. Like it's very
Mhm.
hard to beat them in a debate. You got to be on your shit. But I mean, ENTP just they just know how to just say anything, man. And a lot of times, if they're smart enough, they're well read itself, and then they can just spin anything you say against you. So yeah. Um, and I mean, Bill was a lot older, so yeah. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get Charlie as an ISTJ. Um,
Mhm.
that's process, guys. Hardcore responding there. That's his show, and you seen like Bill just just literally overpowering him. And he was all like, what do you think? 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 I got to see
Hmm.
what you think. What do you think? What do you think? So yes, Charlie Kirk here. Sorry that you're gone, man, but you are an ISTJ. They killed an ISTJ, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry, anything you want to say, man?
Uh, yeah, it's just I think it's astounding the lack of
Yeah, hey, wait, Zara. They said we type everybody INTJ. Oh
yeah,
my
I know.
God, boy, they get crying in my comments, boy. I seen somebody crying. Oh my God, man. I think your content's great, but you be typing everybody INTJ. But
Well,
Charlie
we
Kirk ain't INTJ. I tell you that goddamn shit. He's ISTJ, okay? Learn from
yeah,
you motherfuckers. Um,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. They be in there like, oh my God. They type Taylor Swift INTJ. Oh, this is crazy. But Enneagram guys, 1W2. Yeah, ones are very good on that morals, holding that morals, beating across people's head. Your judges, your lawyers, a lot of your politicians. He's 1W2. Obviously, he's SO/SP, right? Um, what are we thinking for subtype? N squared? So what are we thinking? N squared? You hear me? Yeah, so in squared, guys, we are going in fucking squared, okay? That's the smart motherfuckers, right? Um, and what are we going above average for the guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, above average.
Yeah,
Um,
above average for sure.
um, Average, right? In squares, you smart motherfuckers. You're intellectual elites there, uh, and that's how he's able to whip people down with that SI and that TE. The SI, he's read a whole bunch of books. He's remember all his facts. He remembers the Bill of Rights. He remembers, all of that stuff, right? And anytime someone says something, he can whip it out, right? He reads
Hmm.
books. He's accumulated a lot of information, and he will whip it across your head. Okay, reminds me of old Ben Shapiro. Okay, that's why Ben Shapiro is also very good at arguing as well. You have to be very well read and know what you're talking about, and know how to dissect what they're saying, and have a good knowledge base of what they're talking about. Because if you do not, because TEs a lot of times will say things, but they will say things as a whole a lot of the times. But if you are smart enough, you can say, okay, well, you're kind of jumping to a conclusion here, and there may be multiple reasons why they came to that, and then they're like, oh shit, um, you can see that play out quite a bit, or maybe they kind of rush with the information, right? If you don't uh know how things work, I would say read the book How to Lie with Statistics. It's a book from like the 1940s and it's still relevant today, right? How people lie with percents, how they lie with data. Read that book and pick up on your fallacies and you will be up to speed. Sorry to hear that this guy is gone. I do think he is a very smart guy, and I do think maybe, being an ISTJ, going on these different platforms, learning from different people, going to these different venues, that people can open up his any, right? The thing about ISTJs is what they learn as a kid, as with SI, they store it, and it's very hard for them to change it. But with NE over time, especially if they're out there like doing what he's doing, hearing different people, going to these different debates, doing all that, slowly but surely that stuff's gonna open up his mind. Maybe with him experiencing different things, with SE and NE, then his mind will start opening up more, and he'll be more grounded. But he will never get to see that day, right? Zara thinks that he probably would have ran for president. I think he would
Hmm.
probably ran for some type of office, maybe House of Representatives. He was like one of those guys who'd be good for House of Representatives, um, and maybe a senator, like a Marco Rubio type guy. Zara, anything you want to say, man? Sorry for his family and stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just unfortunate. I mean, I mean, maybe not all of his debate tactics were in good faith, but he still opened up for an exchange of ideas with people, and he got shot for that.
I don't know if
and
you
that's
got shot
a
for that. I mean, I think that's just, I think, me, I just think he's just a pawn. You know, to me, I think he's just a pawn. I don't think he got shot for his ideas, bro. There's a lot more people that's even more volatile than him. Like,
yeah, I know, but that's what's crazy about it, right? Like being shot for being for just having an open exchange, an open dialogue amongst other people.
yeah.
And that's kind of what this country kind of needs is people discussing ideas and exchanging different perspectives so that we don't just end up isolated in our echo chambers,
Hmm.
and that's important.
Hmm.
And I think that's what it's a huge loss because he went to these college campuses
Push the
and
envelope.
did engage with in the exchange of ideas, and I think that's in a paramount for a functioning democracy
Yeah.
and
So, so
bridging that gap.
So key in. I'll let you guys understand his debate strategy, and you'll see this happen quite a bit, especially with TI critics. Is they will ask you a question, they know the answer to the question, they're just hoping you say it wrong, and they're gonna smack you,
Yeah,
right? So they ask you a question, they know the answer to whatever question it is, but they want you to say it wrong so they can smack you with TI critic right in your fucking
yeah.
face, and then they'll
Like
smack you again, and then by that time it's over.
what year was the Bill of Rights written in? They're waiting for you to mess up on the date.
Hmm. And as soon as then Ti
Eh,
critic on you, wow, wow.
yeah, and then they'll say, well, what do you know about anything?
Hmm. So yeah, that's what I said. Like that's the strategy that a lot of Ti critics pull it, man. Just know they setting you up. They know the answer to the question they're asking. They just want to see you fuck up so they can smack you with TI critic, okay? And they smack you
Yeah.
and then reduce you to knowing absolutely fucking nothing, okay? And get out of my face. Okay? Trash. Uh
Hmm.
but overall, I think what the guy was doing, I think he was doing something positive, and I think you will never get to see the fruits of the actual labor of who he could have been, or the type of things that he could have transformed to. I think you were seeing more of the middle range for where he was at, and I think there was a couple chapters for him to grow.
Yeah.
So you never know, what could have like changed him or what perspective he could have seen of that type of thing. Because you see him on there with Bill Mayer, and yeah, like Bill's like slapping him, hitting him with facts and stuff, and then hitting him, get hit with those facts is gonna open up that TE. It's gonna open up that TE. That TE gonna eat down those facts, and then um, he'll be like, oh, I was wrong about this. I was wrong about this. Oh, okay. Let me broaden up my perspective. And I do think people in general are too afraid to challenge their beliefs, and that's one thing that I love about our group and our Discord is we challenge each other and we make each other better. And I had a talk with our Discord, like, before I wrote a demigod last month, and I was like, I think about the Mercer that didn't have this Discord, and I think about the Mercer that does have this Discord, and this Mercer is a lot better because he's able to get his views challenged. You guys provide different information. It's not just me. Maybe I see something for Jess, maybe I see something for Zara, and I can grab that information, I can learn it. Or if I say something wrong, they correct it. So when I go out and I say something, it's right, or they find something and you incorporate it. So I do think that is actually a beautiful fucking thing. But yeah, man, I think it's kind of sad that the guy's gone and his kids have to go through that. Sad to see, man. And he was a strong believer in Christ. I am a Christian. I'm not that strong in faith like him, but yeah, I will say that, man. Zara, any last things?
I just think that he made society a little political commentary a little less torpid and opened up the dialogue and made people less mentally lazy and had to actually refine their arguments. And it's sad that he's gone ultimately. Um, I, but I mean, I think I'm also dismayed with people on social media.
Hmm.
Um, it's I don't want to. I want to be compendious here, but it's just unfortunate how our society has devolved. I mean, it's a sad place.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, I think what Zara is saying here is that you see these people, famous people die, whether it be Hulk Hogan, whether it be Kevin Samuels, whether it be
Hmm.
Charlie here. People are just rejoicing in it, and I don't think that's right. Because I have a golden saying here: the sword falls on anybody, and just give it some time, and it will fall on you too. Okay, and when it falls on you, you're gonna want somebody to be there for you, right? Um, and the Bible says, pull the plank out of your eye before you try to pull it out your brother's, or something of that line. So that's where I think about it. I try not to judge people like in general like that. I just try not to, man, because it's maybe when I was younger I would, but now I'm just way more open-minded, and I do see that there's so much that goes on in the environment and everything like that. If you see our video of Raja Jackson, you see that me and Zara were really moved by what that guy went through, right? We were really moved by what that guy went through, and it's very hard to
Hmm.
move me and Czar on something from an emotional perspective. So,
Hmm.
just seeing things like that have just opened up my mind, and I'm less likely to just try to like nail somebody, right?
It gave me a moment to sonder this whole person's life, their how complex it is. And I think sometimes we get so caught up in the minutia of our own lives that we think that other people's lives are more simplistic than they are.
Mhm.
And we cast a lot of judgments based on that
Yeah,
because we think we have it harder than everyone else. It's an implicit bias. So
yeah. Well, guys, this was a pleasure, man. Sorry to see this guy gone, and man, if you're rejoicing about another person who died, man, I hope
you
it's
have
for you.
psychological issues.
I hope it's better for you when you die. That's all I would say,
Yeah.
man. But this Mongolian mindset, me and Zara are fucking out. Peace. We'll catch you guys on the next one.